Hey everybody, it's your friendly neighborhood hypnotist, Joe Dinsdale here from Secret Success Hypnosis Clinic. Today we're going to be talking about the most evil hypnotist I have ever heard of, and that is alive today.
Secret Success Hypnosis Clinic.
We will be talking about Nancy Salzman, who was the director of Nxivm. I learned about her in this really great documentary called SEDUCED, Inside the Nxivm Cult. And I believe it's on Crave. Now, Nancy teamed up with this guy named Keith Raniere in order to make this organization that was supposed to be like self-improvement to help you interact with people better. It turns out they designed the whole thing to basically brainwash you into being a slave. That was their ultimate goal. And why would anybody do this, you might ask? There was a few reasons. One, for money. People had to pay an exorbitant amount for these courses. And, they always encourage these people to buy more and more and more in order to move up the ranks of the pyramid scheme that they made. They often chased after people who are in power to join into the organization in order to have these sort of minions to give them the details of what's going on in the world. And they were even planning to have somebody in the White House. And 3, this one doesn't apply for Nancy, but Keith also had a secret mini pyramid in his pyramid scheme, and this was a sex cult, which he had sort of a master-slave situation going on. Absolutely horrible. I don't want to get distracted too much about that part of Nxivm because it's a whole other kettle of fish. So let's just focus on Nancy. Who was she? She was a registered nurse, hypnotist, and NLP practitioner. NLP being neuro-linguistic programming. Now, what really irked me about Nancy, other than her starting a cult, was her practice around hypnosis. She tricked everybody in the pyramid, basically, other than Keith and, those few select people at the top. Instead of being honest with the followers of Nxivm, she told them that they were doing these things called EMs. EMs, yeah. And EMs were exploration of meaning. Realistically, though, it was just hypnosis that she was doing. Now, I'm sure Nancy had planned most of the structure of the pyramid because the whole thing of the pyramid was to indoctrinate people and brainwash them. That was the end goal. So Nancy, using her knowledge of neurolinguistic programming and psychology and whatnot, she was slowly brainwashing people over years and years. She had a bunch of things set up that were taken right out of the cult book. They had certain scarves that you would wear that signified where you were in the pyramid scheme, and it was highly encouraged to, continue to move up along the pyramid. All the seminars had sort of coded meanings behind it, where they're encouraging people to completely trust the people at the top of the pyramid. They even had special titles. Nancy was called prefect, and people would praise the prefect at the end of their session, thanking them for their wisdom. And while hypnosis isn't dangerous on its own when it's done by a hypnotist who has ethics and morals, the way that Nancy used hypnosis was weaponized. She methodically, insidiously got into people's brains. And once she had that trust and rapport, they created a culture where it was important to only trust Keith's word, and Keith's word was law. And once somebody has been in this indoctrinative state for so long, their critical thinking becomes weakened, their logic becomes weakened, they've been completely absorbed into this state of mind. And this is where hypnosis can get dangerous, is when the person begins to believe in something that could harm them. The example that I'm going to give is the girl who was narrating the Seduce documentary. She discussed how she had a really close relationship with her mom before she joined Nxivm, and when she started, they began isolating her from her family. So for example, at the very beginning, they made them sit in separate groups, and then, they made fun of her a little bit, saying, oh, you seem really, too close with your mom. And even Nancy herself said, you need to become more dependent. let me do the EM on you so we can solve this dependency issue. And the dependency was trying to isolate her from her family. So when you convince somebody that something is good for them, then hypnosis can work against that person. So by doing this EM, aka hypnosis, this girl really felt that independency would be really good for her, so she was trying to solve this issue within herself. Meanwhile, Nancy just wanted to brainwash this girl into being her slave. This is really, really rare, the use of hypnosis in this aspect. And again, hypnosis alone would not be able to convince somebody enough to, isolate themselves from their family. It's the fact that she was in this culture where her critical thinking was damaged. The good news is Nancy is now in jail. She pleaded guilty March 2019 and will go to jail for 20 years, I believe, which is not enough in my opinion. If you find this interesting, I would highly recommend doing some more research about Nxivm. It is absolutely bonkers what happened in that cult. And I'm so glad that they caught it before it got so out of control. Anyways, let me know what you think about my video, and if you want to learn more about the evil hypnotists of the world, remember to like, share, subscribe, or ring the bell. Alright guys, see you next time. Bye.